Okay, so Kyle, it looks like we're alive. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
So as you can tell, Kyle, for some reason, I keep three studios here in the Mike Meyers underground volcano lair, and are constantly tested, constantly being used one way or another, and constantly going out. So I'm reduced to portrait mode, but just kind of pretend like I'm on TikTok.
There you go. You're skinnier this way.
I do, yeah. I could definitely. I'm improved by a thinner aspect ratio for sure.
There you go.
So, first of all, Colin, I'm very curious. Where are you physically located right now?
I am in San Luis Obispo, California, which is about halfway between LA and San Francisco. That's iFixit Global HQ.
Very good. No, I've got family in San Jose, and a lot of wine that I buy not that far from you either.
Yeah, this is our county kind of top two products are strawberries and grapes. And so yeah,
Can't
there's a lot
beat
of
that combination. That's a lot of Jello over the years, exactly like that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so folks, welcome once again to the Mike Meyers Ask Mike Anything live stream. Today's guest, Kyle. Kyle, please pronounce your starts with
Wiens.
Wiens. Okay, I'm incredibly good at mispronouncing names. You know, I think somebody named Smith, I called them out like Shemir or something. Well, just because I have that kind of brain. And you are the CEO of.
Yeah, I run iFixit. There you go. Look at that.
Do you recognize this kit by any chance, Kyle?
I do, absolutely.
This is one of your older Goldie ones, man. I've put a lot of miles under this. I need a new kit.
We can arrange that. I mean, so, you know, that kit came out of us doing teardowns all over the world, and we would literally have a suitcase full of tools going to Australia because we just didn't know what we were going to come across. And over time, we whittled it down and refined it and figured out the tools that we absolutely needed to be able to tackle anything.
Well, it is because of you guys that I learned the term spudger.
A spudger, yes.
Oh, and I literally mispronounced that too?
A spudger for spudging. Yeah, the origin of the spudger is interesting. So if you'll note, the spudger has if you want to grab it, it's got a hook on one end of it. So it's got a pointy end. And on the other end, there's a little hook. And that hook is for grabbing individual wires from the back of a patch panel. So if you're in there, no, that's a plastic pry tool. The spudger is the black pointy stick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
there you go. That's a halberd spudger. That's our iteration of it. So you have a relatively recent kit. Do you have the other black stick? There you go. Yeah, so you see the hook on the other end of it, that little notch? That is for grabbing an individual, like a Cat 6 wire.
Huh.
We don't really use it. I mean, I think most people are not, running patch panels. They're we're using it to open devices, but we specifically designed it. It's ESD safe nylon and useful for all kinds of things.
Well, Kyle, I tell literally everybody who comes on my shows, I tell them that they need one of your all's kits. But unfortunately, I often may give you guys a little bit of a short shrift because I don't do, and what I'd like to do today is really let people know a little bit more about what iFixit is. And while I could do a fairly good job, I got the myth, the man, the legend, Kyle Wiens right here. Kyle, what the heck is iFixit?
So iFixit is a wiki. We are a kind of like Wikipedia for fixing things. Our goal is to be completely comprehensive with anything you'd know about how to fix anything, whether it's a Dell laptop or an iPhone or a toaster. And what another way to think of us is, because we have the wiki, we also have a Q&A, kind of like Stack Overflow. So we're sort of a merger of a Q&A forum and repair knowledge base that anybody can add to.
So how does this? I'm throwing these softball to you, buddy. So if I want to fix something, how do I turn to iFixit to do these types of fix-its? Let's say I've got a Samsung G22. I want to work on a new screen. How does iFixit help me?
Yeah, so pop on iFixit, do a search for the thing, Samsung S23 or whatever it is, and hopefully we've got step-by-step guides. So we have about 90,000 step-by-step repair guides that'll walk you through the process of installing the screen on G22 or an S23 or whatever it is.
Yeah, and guys, I need to stress what Kyle's talking about is these are videos that you've always had a video for me, Kyle, every time I've turned to you guys. So when you say step by step, you are talking about videos, right?
Most of them are photo step-by-step walkthroughs. We do have, some videos, but it's easier for the community to crowdsource step-by-step walkthrough photo guides than videos. So we have videos for some things, but the 90,000 guides, those are step-by-step photo guides.
Outstanding. And what would be some of the classes of products? When I think of iFixit, I think of smart devices. It's going to be phones and tablets, tablets and phones. What are some other things that a lot of times maybe I should be thinking of to turn to iFixit for?
So we are the largest repair resource in the history of the world. It is more probably accurate to talk about the things that we don't have than the things that we do. For example, iFixit is the largest database of medical service information in the world. We have over 25,000 PDFs for fixing everything from a vital sign monitor to a ventilator. We are the most comprehensive resource of power tool schematics in the world. So if you have a Makita drill or a DeWalt chop saw, or a Hilti concrete saw, we've got exploded diagrams and schematics for those. If you want to know how to take apart a Shark vacuum or a Ninja blender, we have step-by-step repair guides for those. You want to work on your car? We have hundreds and hundreds of how-to guides. Everything from a friend of mine came over my house the other day. I have a car lift, and she wanted to bleed the brakes on her Volkswagen, and we Googled it, and the iFixit guide on how to bleed the brakes came right up, and we were able to follow the instructions. I'd never done it before. It was kind of a cool process to learn.
Wow, Kyle, I got to tell you, I'm almost embarrassed right here. Part of the reason that we were talking about you about 2 months ago, Dave Rush and I from Total Seminars, and I was talking about, it's been a while since I've been on iFixit. I was looking because actually a lot of my tools have actually broken because I've used them enough, Kyle. And I was like, they're pretty good for fixing phones and stuff. And Dave Rush is like, Kyle, he gave me one of these. He's like, Mike, you really ought to go talk to iFixit. Let me see if I can get Kyle Wiens. And now I know why, because I have straight up apologized, Kyle. I had no idea how much you guys expand. You got to keep in mind, the first time I met you guys 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I'm trying to remember, and you showed up at a CompTIA conference.
It was probably in Phoenix at CompTIA. They like to do Phoenix in August.
Yeah.
So we get all power inside and the air conditioning at CompTIA education conferences.
Hey, the nice part is if it busts, you guys can fix it for them though, right, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it was Phoenix. And and seriously, Kyle, for so many of us, the frustration of doing smart device repair, and I'm sure you've heard this lamentation 1,000 times, is that it's just really tough to get A, the right tools, and B, the right instruction. And
I mean, the first time you open something up, you're gonna break it. It's just, you can't possibly know where the little tabs and latches are. In order to cut into an iPad, you have to stick a cutting tool in around the edge. Well, if you don't know where the ribbon cable is from the touchscreen, you're going to cut it. So it doesn't matter how smart you are, how much experience you have to have some idea what you're going to be going in for. And historically, the manufacturers just haven't shared that information. So with iFixit, our goal has been, how can we create an open source equivalent of all the repair information that the manufacturers should have been giving us?
So how do you feel about, when was it, last year, when Apple finally started to pass out the tools for certain types of repair? But it was kind of a double-edged sword. What was your opinion on all that? And has it gotten any better?
Well, so we feel a little bit vindicated, right? I mean, I started iFixit because I was trying to fix my iBook and I was looking for the service manual. And I learned that Apple had sent their lawyers to censor every reference to that service manual on the internet. And so we started iFixit. We started publishing our own repair guides and said, okay, fine, if Apple won't let you have it, we'll make our own. 20 years later, almost, they start publishing manuals again. So that's fantastic. It's great. You can go on Apple's website and you can get an iPhone service manual, and you can see how Apple wants you to disassemble the iPhone. That's cool. Now, the catch is that the way that Apple has designed their products and the way that they think you repair them is not a practical process for any of us to follow. There are much easier and simpler ways of working on these things. Apple's, their self-repair program involves using $1,200 worth of tools, which, maybe it makes sense if you're equipping an Apple store that you'd have $1,200 of tools in the back, but that does not make sense for you or me who's going to fix a phone once a year to have $1,200 in tools for it. So we take the information that they have, but the guides that we are creating are designed to be done with the tool that you're holding, or maybe with a kit that we can include with a part.
So, but I mean, I can rent those tools from Apple, right? I mean,
yeah, you can.
You
So
just better return them on
I think
time.
it's $50, and they mail you 2 Pelican cases that weigh 70 pounds.
Amazing.
They're pretty nice Pelican cases.
They better be, given how much you guys pay for those Apple products. I'm such an Android person, Kyle. I keep some Apple products around, but it's an old argument and one we need a lot of beer to really get into and enjoy.
I feel you. I'm rocking Android here. So, so last year, in addition to Apple's program, which they're running on their own, iFixit launched a program with Samsung and Google where we're selling their repair parts for them, and we're distributing repair kits, and we're working closely with them to create the repair information for the Samsung and Google phones.
You were literally
about that.
I was about to ask that question. I mean, I've done some repair. I've had a number of Samsung and Google Pixels over the years. And, Kyle, I consider myself a good screwdriver tech, but somehow the aspect of bringing in a hairdryer, I just don't have the mojo for that stuff. But with your instruction and tool set, I've replaced many a screen and a few batteries too. But is Samsung doing, if I need to fix something in Samsung, does that come with 2 Pelican cases also?
No, so the process that we came up with Samsung involves using the DIY tools that iFixit sells. So it's a lot of the tools that are in your case there. Every part. So if you buy a Samsung screen from us, you pay $10 more, and it comes with a heating device and all the tools and screwdrivers that you need to open it up.
Really?
And specifically our strategy. So I'm with you. I don't really like dealing with adhesive either, but we're in a modern world. We have new devices. They're held together with glue. There's nothing we can do about that. So we have to learn. We have to adapt. We need new screwdrivers. And so a hairdryer can work, or we have what we call an eye opener. It's a sack of gel that you stick in the microwave, and then you put it on the device, and it softens the adhesive for you.
You wouldn't have one of those in visual range right now, would you?
I don't have one right here, no, but I can screen share.
So, Kyle, I'm shocked and pleased that I'd never heard about the deal that you guys have worked out with both Samsung and Pixel. I mean, this is a handshake done deal thing, huh?
Yeah, so we're launched. You can go on ifixit.com/Samsung and get. I can share my screen here. This is a Samsung repair kit, so we can go and say, if you have a Samsung S21 and you want a new screen, here you go. And the screen comes with this whole kit, including, so this is the eye opener. This is a sack of gel that you stick in the microwave, and then it comes with the tweezers, and there's a handy spudger and all the bits that you need to open it up. And this is working really well. We're helping. It's really cool to get OEM parts out there combined with our DIY repair solution.
So you're throwing in that was an S21 repair kit that would fix both the battery and the screen for $189.
So in this case, it comes as a unit. So when you swap the screen, you get a new battery thrown in for free.
I mean, if you're already doing that, why not get the battery while you're at it, right?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
vice versa. $189. That's a good deal, man. That's what I guess the best deal I could find for a Samsung screen at the mom and pops around here in Houston would probably be about $160, $170. So plus you get 2 parts one. That's beautiful.
You gotta keep all the toolkit, all the tools when you're done. Yeah, and that's we could have included disposable tools, but we wanted it to be something quality that you'd use for your next repair.
Well, I think one of the things that you guys have really done for the industry over this past decade is through a bunch of these little black and blue toolkits have really worked at opening people's eyes in terms of fixability of, and again, Kyle, I apologize. I'm going to stick to what I know, which is smart devices, and you guys should be sending me stock certificates in the mail or something. Given the number of people I have pushed your way.
Well, this is a technology show. We should be talking about tech, and I mean, my fear was that we were on this trend toward a disposable society. I think growing up, we were building PCs. Of course, this stuff is tinkerable. Well, as it's gotten smaller and smaller and more integrated, there was a possibility that we were going to lose that legacy, that everything was going to be disposable, that we wouldn't know how things worked. And so I think that would be sad for our culture. That would be sad for the future society. So I said, no, this shall not stand. We're gonna create an alternative. And for a long time we were kind of out there in the wilderness on our own. Now we've convinced a few companies. We've also got Microsoft on board, which is cool.
I like the vision of Apple as a Balrog there, but that's pretty good. So I had a, God bless it, I do this all the time, Kyle.
So with the Microsoft products, Microsoft has struggled because the product design, the Surface, the original Surface laptop and the original Surfaces were very difficult to open. I don't know if you've ever tried to take one of them apart, but
I've got a Surface too. I've never dared.
It is challenging. As a matter of fact, I like to travel around the world. And I don't know if you've ever been to Akihabara Radio Town in Tokyo. It's like the biggest electronics market in the world. Amazing place, all kinds of cool stuff, tons of gadgets and anime. Well, one of many amazing hobbies that Japanese have is this subculture where they buy broken things and they fix it for fun. So there's these stores in Akihabara where they sell broken stuff. And I wandered into the basement of one, and you look, and there's just broken laptops as far as the eye can see. And there's one kind of table that had different products, and there was a label on it in Japanese that said these products are priced according to their repairability score, according to how easy or hard they are to fix on iFixit scorecard. So if we rate it as a 10 out of 10, it's going to be cheap because it's easy to, or it's going to be expensive because it's easy to fix, right? And the harder to fix things were cheaper. And they had a Microsoft Surface too, and it said, this got a 1 out of 10 on iFixit scorecard. Bet you can't fix it. Ha ha. And it's cool to see this whole subculture around this. Well, Microsoft got that message that they were designing products that were very hard to fix, and they've changed their tune. And if you look at the latest generation of Surface laptop and the latest Surface devices, they have modular SSDs. They're much more straightforward to open up. The new Surface laptop actually isn't glued together. It's got magnetic clips, and it just pops right open. When Panos Panay introduced it on stage, he took it apart on stage and said, look, this is easy now. So that's the kind of innovation that we like to see. And that's where I said we were on this trajectory where society was designing disposable glued together devices. Now I feel like maybe the trend is shifting in the other direction.
I hope you're right. I mean, you may not believe this, but I'm a little older than you. No, really, it's true. And I remember going back to the 90s where we really started to see component level repairs starting to disappear very quickly. And that's where we first early 90s, where we really started to see, this is primarily desktop systems and laptops back then, forget about it. They went back to the manufacturer. There was no tool sets. And even stereo systems, 19-inch rack stereo systems that were all, it seemed to me that once things hit about $199, then they were all going to throw away very, very quickly. And if we could keep these individual, I don't want to we called them components back then, but now they're more like individual devices. If we could keep them above $199, everything from Blu-ray players to all kinds of stuff, we could work on them. And that included, by the way, true component level popping caps and that type of thing. But even I had to accept the fact that once they started at a certain price point, fine, let's throw them away. But man, then Kyle, that price started going up up and up and up. And from devices that cost $199 or old Franklin electronic planners and things like that were sub 100. And we saw it with the phones more than anything else, where the prices started going up and up to the point where I was very uncomfortable not being able to work on a $600 phone. And I swear to God, it was the glue that scared me, Kyle.
Right.
They got me with the glue, man.
Yeah, glue and attaching thin glass. And so I think that's where, we just have to evolve, right? So the tool of last decade was a screwdriver. The tool of the next decade is heat and isopropyl alcohol. And you have to learn to be just a little bit precise and take your time. But it's totally manageable. We have helped hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people remove glue and replace glass, and more people can do it. Just have to get a little bit outside of our comfort zone.
So Kyle, we got all of these little mom and pop fix-it joints all over the country. Here in Houston, we probably have 100 of these little shops. Are you connected with these guys? Is there an official iFixit program to work with these folks?
Yeah, so we do. We have our iFixit Pro network where we provide information and sell parts and tools to repair shops. Absolutely. And that's also kind of the benefit of the free repair information. We put the repair knowledge out there. We want people to start fixing things. If you get really good at it and start doing it professionally, that's awesome. We're happy to support. And then if you want to take a step beyond that, sign up for iFixit Pro, which is totally free. You just need a business license, and then you can get access to discounted parts and tools.
Wow, that's very cool. And we can find this all on the iFixit website?
iFixit.com/pro, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we can find that. Heck, I'm going to look into that. All right, so Kyle, I got one slightly contentious question for you, because I really do talk about you guys all the time. And I was in a store. This only really happened one time. And I'm in one of these little mom and pops, but it was a pretty high production place. I mean, this was not, a couple of sleepy guys behind the counter. And I talked about iFixit. And they're like, oh, yeah, we love the website, but the tools are really more for home users. How would you respond to that?
I don't know. I'd be curious where that feedback is coming from. We equip pros all the time, and have lots of repair shops using our tools. So, we have different grades of our tools. So we have what we call the Essential Electronics Toolkit, which is our home repair kit that you throw in your backpack. And then we have the ProTech Toolkit, which is the one that you have, which is really aimed for professional repair shops. So what we hear overwhelmingly from professional repair shops, from folks doing data recovery at scale, the FBI buys toolkits from us regularly for their forensics labs. Whoever needs it, we're happy to help.
Excellent. All right. And really, it only came up that one time. So the guy actually pulled out some little screwdrivers, and they had the little spinny top on them. You know what I mean? I was like, that's your criteria? But,
well, so I will tell you. So the toolkit that you have there, it has a separate screwdriver head and then 64 interchangeable bits, so you can swap the bits. Well, if you're a pro repair shop and you're working all the time, you don't really want interchangeable bits. You want a special purpose screwdriver for each task. So you have your Phillips number 0 screwdriver, your Pentalobe P2 screwdriver, and so we sell a screwdriver kit called the Marlin, which has individual drivers for each one. And that's definitely the pro shops where you've got them at your desk and you're working with the same 5 screwdrivers all day. That makes a lot of sense. Where for me, I'm not fixing phones all day, every day. I use the ProTech Toolkit.
Well, I'm going to go back. They're actually good guys. They do some good repair work for me. I'm going to go back and put them in a half Nelson and tell them about your
yeah.
kit.
I'll show you. This is the Marlin screwdriver kit, and it's the same thing. It's got the swivel top, and then it has the individual precision bits, and it comes in a handy black tool roll, just like the ProTech, but for all the individual screwdrivers. Because I totally understand if you're doing the same phone all the time, you don't want to be swapping bits constantly.
Outstanding. Man, Kyle, I got to tell you, it's just so exciting to see and to think I knew you back when. I mean, you're So it gets interesting. I'm not sure, you probably don't keep up with me as much as I keep up with you, but so you know that my company Total Seminars got bought out. So I'm sitting there looking at the where do I buy the beach house kind of attitude right now. But I'll tell you one thing, it is fun. I live on your guys' toolkit. I got to tell you, I use iFixit toolkits on stuff that's even probably outside of what you guys visualize. I use it for a lot of desktop situations.
Mhm.
I use it in a lot of home repair, a lot of IoT.
Yep. No, and we kind of think we should have like our Central Electronics Toolkit is a really great IoT toolkit. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing repairs around the house all the time with it. I need to tighten the doorknob, whatever. But it's a handy tool roll for that.
All right, so I got one more piece that I've lumped in here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the screen. I'm going to try. Can you read this one?
I see Windows. Is this Windows 3? This looks like a Windows 3 era font. I cannot read what's underneath that.
Windows for work groups.
Okay.
But I was doing a little cleaning and found that one. I thought you'd get a little laugh out of that.
What year do you think that's from?
It'd be Windows for work groups 311. That would be 90, 89, 90,
Yeah,
right around there.
Windows 3 era.
Yeah, back when I had a lot more hair, dude.
Yeah, I'm looking. Windows 3.0 released in 1990.
So this is, look up 311 for me, Kyle, please.
Let's see, 92. Yeah, there you go. Complete with Minesweeper.
That's right.
Microsoft also introduced Windows for Workgroups, the first version of Windows to allow integrated networking. Allow you to share files, use print servers, and chat online. It also introduced peer-to-peer networking. There you go.
Yeah, I was there for that stuff. It was fun. It was fun. I don't mean to go back into old stuff too much.
No, that's fine. I was using Mac OS 7 at the time.
7. Yeah, you got me on that one then, man. Well, Kyle, man, thank you so much for dropping in on us. It's always amazing to work with iFixit. I'm thrilled to see you guys are successful. I'm definitely going to be looking into some of that Samsung stuff, and I swear, I promise on a pile of turtles that I am going to be heading over to your site next time. I'm going to get my mind outside of smart devices, and next time I've got I have actually got a lot of power tools, and that'd probably be the next thing I'd take a peek at.
Yeah, check it out. And the great thing about iFixit is every page has an edit button. So if you see something that could be phrased a little better, or you learn some detail while you're doing a repair, hit edit and leave it better for the next person. Absolutely, we'll do that. All right, folks, this has been Kyle Wiens from iFixit, one of my most favorite companies on earth. Kyle, thanks again. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to log off on the AMA today. We're only going to run 30 minutes. So, Kyle, can you do me a favor and let's give the kids a wave and say goodbye simultaneously? All right. Bye, guys. I will be back on next Wednesday. And thanks again, Kyle. Y'all be good now. You hear? Bye-bye.